Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mark Warshine. I am your account implementation advisor for Travel Impressions. And today we're going to go ahead and get ready for 2020 with kind of something a little bit different. We're going to go over some advanced booking techniques. We're going to go over how to build a multi-stop reservation. We're going to talk about how to book a pre- and post-cruise reservation. We're also going to go over the advanced search page within VAX. And I also created a little bit of a reservation so we can go over some basic modifications on things that you can do in VAX by yourself. So why don't we go ahead and get started. So from here, we are on our Travel Impressions page. And we're going to start out with multi-stop reservations. So to get down to the multi-stop reservations, under your vacation package search, you're going to see where it says multiple destinations. Let's go ahead and click on that. Alright, so we got to go ahead and make sure that our supplier is Travel Impressions. Okay, and you are able to get up to 4 rooms, 8 passengers on the reservation. My recommendation, though, is if you have multiple rooms on a multi-stop, try to make separate reservations, just because down the road for modifications, it's going to make things a lot easier. So for today, we're going to do 1 room, 2 adults. If you have a multi-stop destination promo code, enter it right here. And we're going to go out to Europe today. So let's say JFK will be our departure city. Alright, let's select JFK. Add travel protection. I always add the travel protection prior because it's a lot easier to take that cost off rather than add it on after you quote. Let's go ahead and go on travel dates a little bit further out. So let's do March 8th. Let's do London. So LHR. We'll do 4 nights out in London. And I'm going to apologize ahead of time. It looks like my screen is lagging a little bit as far as the responses. Alright, so for destination 1, we are going out to London. So please note that most of the time if you're going out to Europe, you possibly will have an overnight flight. So the system will automatically offset those dates for you. So at the checkout page, it'll offset it for you. So keep that in mind. So because we selected Air and Hotel Multi-Stop, it will not let me deselect the flight. And the next component will be hotel. It will allow us to deselect the hotel if you choose to. In this case, I'm going to keep that on here. Car rental, you can keep it on here or remove it. I'm going to choose to remove the car rental. Below, you will have additional hotel options, so you can search by a specific hotel name or brand. And if you need to offset your hotel dates, you can do it right here. And just change your dates if you need to. I do recommend not using this hotel filter on the initial search page, because if it's not available, you will get a system error and you won't get any other searches to pull up. So my recommendation is use the filters when you actually get to the availability page. So now we're going to go to destination 2. So we're going to go over to Paris. It's a pretty common multi-stop, London and then out to Paris. So destination 2, we're going to put in Paris. So Charles de Gaulle. Alright, again, it's lagging a little bit, so I'm apologizing. And we'll go up 5 nights. And I'm going to look at this as, how am I going to get from point A to point B? So how am I going to get from point A, London, to point B, Paris? Am I going to need a flight? Yes or no? In this case, I'm not going to choose any flights because I want to show you the rail options. Do I need a hotel? Yes or no? I'm going to keep it selected. If you don't need it, just deselect it. Rental car. I'm going to deselect that because I don't need that rental car. So if you need to add additional destinations, you can add it right here. And once you do, if you need to remove it, it'll have a remove button right below. And in the multiple destinations area, so you are able to change your return city. That's something that we call an open jaw. So leaving from one city, take your vacation, go back to a different city. You are only able to do that within the multi-stop function. So you need a minimum of 2 stops. So just keep that in mind. You can do it in VAX and just need the 2 stops. So I will give you kind of a little pointer. Let's say this itinerary, they only want to go to London. All right, so let's say they want the 4 nights in London, but then they want to go back to a different city rather than JFK. So how you would do that is in your second destination, put London again, change it down to 0 nights, and deselect your components. So that way you satisfy the minimum 2 stops, and then you can change the return city, so you'll be able to do it that way. All right, so we're going to keep it as JFK, though. You have additional flight options here, so you can search by your airline, cabin preference, or number of stops. I just keep it as it normally is, and then I use my filters with it. So let's go ahead and hit search. And because it's a multi-stop, it will take a little bit longer to actually pull up all the components. All right. Perfect. So we got our availability to pull up. So if you notice with the multi-stop function, it will pull up your hotels first. Unlike a single stop or a normal reservation search you would normally do, it pulls up your hotel first. So I think, me personally, it makes the flow of the way you search it a little bit easier. So remember, you can use your sort by options to sort by price point, airline A to Z, number of stops, time period, earliest to latest, latest to earliest, or flight duration. I use my filters on the left-hand side. So you can use this sliding price scale if you choose to. So I'm going to select and filter down to a morning departure flight time. All right, and then for arrival time, it's only showing me evening or night, so I'm going to leave that be. I'm going to filter to non-stops. All right, perfect. So right off the bat, we have this American Airlines flight that's at 9:05 in the morning, gets into London at 7:50 p.m. All right, this is a code share with British Airways. I know that because it says operated by, but also there's this little plus sign right here. If you hover over it, it'll tell you it's a code share. I actually like this option, so that's what I'm going to select. All right, and so then the return flight, we can filter again, so it looks like there's only morning flight times. I'm going to filter to the nonstop, and I'm just going to select one of the nonstop flights. I'm not too worried about the flights and the actual components. We're more focused on how to build the itinerary. So again, you can select your hotels, and again, I am going into the hotel area, and I just kind of wanted to show the hotel filters, because I think it makes life a lot simpler. And one thing I noticed right off the top of this is the current selection at the K&K Hotel George. It is a non-refundable rate, so keep in mind the travel protections don't cover that, so just keep that in mind. We can always upgrade to a room that is refundable for that travel protection to cover it. So I'm just waiting for the hotel availability to populate. And I know it hasn't because none of the filters have a number by them, and I don't see the number of hotels. So let's wait for that to happen. There we go. So you have 450 hotels available. If you have a specific hotel you're looking for, you can type it in the hotel name. If it's available, it will populate below, and then you can select it for your filter. So let's say there's one here. All right, GROS. Okay. All right, where'd you go? Sorry, my computer's just acting a little goofy. Alright, so let's say we're looking for the girls' dinner. Alright, so we start typing it out. It's available. Because it's there, it will filter it to that hotel when it updates. If you do not want that filter in there anymore, just highlight everything, backspace or delete it, hit find again, and then it'll update all your other hotels that were on there originally. So just remember you have points of interest down here that you can filter it by, whether they want to be by the Kensington Palace, London Bridge, Big Ben, etc. So I'm just going to keep it as is. Not really too worried about that. The one thing I kind of wanted to point out was the rail options. Alright, so when you go into your features and everything updates for you, if there's a rail option, it'll be under your ground transportation. So we can filter it to that. So I'm going to filter it to my 10 rail options. So you notice the first one that populates is a one-way ticket from Brussels to London. So because we have London to Paris, we don't want that one. But that doesn't mean they can't take a day trip out somewhere. So there are going to be some rail tickets that you see that aren't specifically for your destination or going from destination 1 to destination 2, because a lot of people will take those day trips or whatever it may be. So I'm going to find the one that says London to Paris. So this one is a Eurostar. It gives you the options whether you want the standard class or standard class mid-off-peak between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to select a date that we want, so let's do March 13th, and I'm going to update my card. And so we do have many rail options. You'll see a lot of them also out in Italy as well. That's another big destination that you'll see plenty of rail options. So the one thing I really wanted to point out is how to actually book the rail options. So I'm going to go to my checkout page. And let's wait for the checkout page to update. Alright, so I'm going to scroll down, and once you enter your names and everything, make sure you enter your hotel request at time of booking. The reason why I'm mentioning that is because a lot of components nowadays, especially hotels, a lot of airlines, are going to be direct links or through a booking link. So special service requests will only go over at the time of booking. So if it's done after the fact and it's a linked property, or even the airfare, you're not going to be able to add any of this, like for flights, the frequent flyer information, or if you need to add a special service request to the hotel, like VIP customer, celebrating birthday, or whatever it may be, the hotel would have to be reached out to. So you can either A, call us and we'll do it, B, you can do it, it wouldn't really matter. For frequent flyer information, you could just take the airline confirmation number, go to the airline's website. That will cut down a phone call or an email into our contact center that you don't have to wait on for. So what I wanted to point out with the rail options is you're not going to be able to book anything without entering information. So this specific one is mid-off-peak between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. I need to enter my preferred departure time. So if I wanted to do, let's say, 10:30, I would enter that in there, and then when I make my reservation, that will transmit over to us. So one thing how rail option works is we do not book them right away, because most of these rail options are non-refundable once they're booked. So we typically do not actually physically go onto the rail website or whatever it may be to book those actual tickets. So if you need to modify it prior to then, it'll be okay, and then you're not charged a non-refundable fee. And I believe some of these rail options you can use change fees and stuff like that. So that's how it works, is we don't book them until about 45 days prior, and then we send you a separate confirmation with the actual confirmation for the rail. So in this case, if we entered a departure time of 10:30, we're going to book closest to 10:30 that's available. So let's say it's a 10:20. they would book that 10/20. So they'll work and book whatever's closest to that time that you want in there for you. So I just kind of wanted to mention that for you because I know that is a question that quite a bit of people get. And I know for me, until I got into the habit of entering that information, I would try to complete a reservation. It would just take me right back to that red asterisk area and say, hey, we need that information. All right, so let's get back out of here. And the next one I kind of want to talk about is pre and post cruise. So a lot of people nowadays are booking cruises, which is great. They're a fantastic vacation option. Me personally, I'm not a water person, so I couldn't do it. I don't like the water. But that doesn't mean you can't get the package as far as getting the flights booked or getting their pre-night stay booked or post-night stay. You can do that right in Vax, and it's very simple. So we're going to go ahead and do it real quick. So I am going to just keep JFK here. I'm going to change my destination over to Miami. And again, the response time isn't that great right now for it, so I apologize. I do have a ticket open for that. So you're not the only one experiencing that. All right, let's go Miami. So you can do 1 night, you can do 2 nights, 3 nights, however many nights you want prior to your cruise. I'm going to do 1 night. All right, so flight's still there. I need a hotel. If you need a rental car, great. You can add it on there. If not, no big deal. Second destination is going to be your cruise. So however long, they don't need any other components within your vacation package. So it could be, hey, I'm staying 1 night in a hotel, the rest I'm staying with family. Okay, fine. However it is, it's just know that you can pretty much do all that in Vax. So destination 2, I'm going to use, let's say they're taking a Caribbean cruise. So it doesn't really matter what you put in here. You can do Miami again, you can put Jamaica, I'm going to put Jamaica. Whatever it may be. And then you're going to choose the number of nights the actual cruise is set for. So if it's departing for 10 nights, you can do 10 nights. And then what you would do, just deselect all the options. So I'm going to deselect the hotel. So I don't have flights, I don't have hotel, I don't have a rental car. So it's just basically an open space within your booking for 10 nights. Then we would add an additional destination. Alright, so I'm just waiting for that to update. And then we'll book that post night. Alright, computer, let's go. There we go. Alright, so destination 3 will be my post night. So I'm going to do Miami again. So let's say I want the 1 night in Miami. Alright, and then the number of nights you need for that post. So I'm just going to use 1. I do not need a flight because they're going to be on that ship getting off at the port in Miami area, wherever that port is. I need the hotel. I don't need a rental car. And from here, this is where you would search. And to see how it looks, let's go ahead and do it. It'll look like a normal multi-stop itinerary. It will just not have one destination with any components on it. So let's wait for that to pull so I can show you how that looks. Here we go. I'm not worried about the flights or anything. Just show you how it looks. Okay. So we have our flights, the whole duration. So this one was the 8th of March through the 20th. We have 1 night hotel free. Here's our cruise. There's nothing there. Then 1 night post. So this way you don't have to tell the customers, well, here, I'll book your air for separate, I'll book the hotel separate, everything like that. This way you can get your package in Vax, your air hotel package, give them additional benefits with that cancel for any reason coverage. You get your normal commission percentage, you got the booking, great, wonderful. Alright, so that's how you create a pre and post cruise. The next thing I want to talk about is the advanced search page. So let me just go back to my travel impressions main page. All right, so this will be under advanced search. So I know many of you probably get this from customers to where, hey, I want 7 nights for my flights. I only need a hotel option for 4 nights or 3 nights or whatever it may be. I know you guys probably get quite a bit of that because, I mean, there's a lot of times customers may have a hotel voucher for a return stay if they have a flexible in, or whatever it may be. Maybe they're visiting family for a couple nights. Whatever the situation may be, you can offset those air and hotel dates. And it's very simple. All you're going to do is go into your advanced search. So you have your booking engine here. So your normal package. You click on advanced search. You're going to put in your origin and destination after you select travel impressions. So let's do Philadelphia. Let's go out to Dominican. Let's select some travel dates. So let's do 7 nights airfare. And now let's say they only need 4 nights hotel because they have a return stay voucher from one of their flexible groups that they have. So you have your flight options here for your filters. We will go over the shop by schedule option in just a few moments. The hotel, you can click on the hotel. Again, you can search by name here. I don't recommend it because if it's not available, it will not populate a search into availability. And to modify your hotel, so let's say they're staying 3 nights with family, or they have a 3-night hotel voucher. All you have to do is modify the dates to the dates that you need the hotel for. They have to be in sequence though. So you can't say, well, I need 2 nights here. I don't need a hotel for 3 nights, and then I need two hotel nights at the end. You wouldn't be able to do that just on a general search. You would be able to do that as a multiple destination. So let's go ahead and hit search so you can see how it looks. All right, let's wait for that to pull up. All right, I did get a question about, so what if they just want flights for a cruise? If you're able to book the flight only option within VAX, go ahead and do it. I mean, you're not going to receive commission on flight only. Travel protection is not offered either, but that is an option. At least you can get a sale to count towards your numbers. It's just you're not going to make anything off of it unless you had an agency fee. All right, so let's get back to the advanced search settings. So we have our flights. I'm going to leave my flights alone. So it's the 17th of March to the 24th. The hotel, you can see right here, check-in and check-out date. And now you would just select your hotel. So I'm just going to select the Null Onyx. Leave my flights as is. So that's how you would offset your air and hotel dates. You can, let's say you forget to offset it prior, in your hotel availability search, let's get back there real quick. Under your filters, the advanced search, if you forget to do it, you can use this here and offset it here and then hit search, and then it'll just update the hotel. So don't worry if you forget on the initial search, you can within that search too. Alright, so the next thing I want to talk about is modifications you can do within VAX Vacation Access. So let's go ahead and retrieve a reservation I created. Okay, so I'm just going to put a reservation number here. And this is going to apply. I made a land-only reservation. This will apply also for bookings that have the exclusive non-stop vacation flights or charters, however you refer to them. So probably one of the easiest things in VAX that you can do is add flight information to a land-only reservation. There are a lot of times people will call in for it or send an email for it, but and then have to wait for a response back. No need to. You can do it right in Bax yourself. And it's as easy as going down to where it says flight information under your comments and preferences. You expand that, you put in your carrier code and flight number. So let's go United, flight 1025, whatever it may be, the date of your arrival transfer, and the time. So let's say it's at 9:31 a.m. and you hit submit. Alright, so let's say you don't remember if you added it in or not. You can go ahead and re-enter it in. Not a big deal, because it'll just go right back over to the ground transportation handler. Or if you want, if you click on history, you'll be able to see it. So right here is our flight information. If you don't see flight information in there, go ahead and add it. So it's one of the easiest things that you're able to do. Alright, so other things that you can do under comments and preferences. Let's just stay under here for a second. Under your add-on requests, you can cross-reference bookings for transfers. So if they have a private transfer and you have two couples going, they can share as long as they're at the same date, same hotel, and same flights. They can share those. All it would be is traveling with booking XYZ. And then hit submit. So what will happen is that will go over to the ground handler. They will know XYZ booking is traveling with this reservation and to put them on that same private transfer. So that's how you can kind of cross-reference reservations for transfers. If you need to for hotels, this particular hotel, I can't do it with because it's a direct link. But you can do it if you had a hotel request here. You would click on it, and then there's a free-form box saying you could put traveling with Smith Bob. And just try not to do more than like 40, 50 characters, because that's all that goes over to the hotel. So let's talk about special service requests with hotels. Always do it at time of booking. Because, perfect example here, this is a direct link hotel. So this is a Dreams property, so an AM resort property. That is a direct link. Once you make that reservation, it will not transmit over to the hotel. So once you make it, that option for the special service request is no longer there. So best practice, do it at time of booking. If you forget to, not a big deal. You can reach out to the contact center, who will reach out to the hotel to add the special service request. Or the nice thing is, with AM Resorts, you have that AMR media site where you can get the hotel contacts. That's where our call center would do it anyhow. And that would basically cut out the middleman if you choose to do it that way. So that are special service requests and flight information. Pretty simple. So we can always go ahead and change hotels as long as it's not under any penalty and things like that. They have the cancel for any reason, so there's not going to be any brand fees along with it. So let's go ahead, change hotel. Let's go to modification, change component. You would just click hotels. Change to the hotel or the room category that you want. So if you want to upgrade a room category, just click on the plus sign. Or if you want to change hotels, you can just go to whatever hotel that you want, use your filters and go that way. So, and then from here, so let's go Banal Onyx. I heard that's a decent property. So from here, we change to a different hotel room category. We have our transfers on here, but for me, I notice that we don't have travel protection. But I want you guys to get in the habit, right over here where it's under your total package price. You see where it says modifications in progress. I always like to double check what I had on my reservation before I complete my changes. So I had the cancel for any reason waiver and transfers. So I got to make sure I add that back. I can add that in my features here, or I can do it at checkout. I'm just going to do it at checkout. So we got our components all on there. We changed our hotel. Let's go ahead and make the change. All right, if you have your flight information, enter it in. If not, I do not have that flight information. All right, cancel for any reason waiver. Do I want it? Yes, no. Obviously, if they already paid for it, you're going to have it on there. But if you don't have any payment on the reservation, you have the option to decline it. So I'm accepting it. All right, then from here, just go down to complete itinerary change and complete it. That's one of the easier modifications that you can do as well. And in order to add features or maybe remove features, you're going to use the same process, modifications and change components. Let's talk about adding an agency fee after you've made a reservation. So we go into our booking administration. I can't do it right now. Look at that. Can't do it. It's because you have to be in the availability page. So again, modifications, change component. Now we can go to our booking administration and add whatever fee. So if it's $200, type in 200. Set commission. And just again, remember, anytime you add an agency fee, 10% will come out as a processing fee, so it would be $180 you're adding to commission. It would be the same way if you wanted to remove an agency fee. You would have to be into modifications and change component, and all you would do, put 0.00, set commission, it goes back down to not having any. And then we would, from here, just go to checkout, complete the itinerary change. Pretty simple. It's just many people forget that you have to actually go into the modifications for change component portion. All right, so let's go ahead and re-retrieve our reservation. So again, keep in mind, if you are in your modification stage and they don't want to do anything, just get out of the reservation. You can just hit retrieve reservation and hit new search, whatever it is. It won't change it until you actually hit the I have read the terms and conditions, complete itinerary change. All right, so because this is land only, and again, keep in mind you can do this on the exclusive nonstop vacation flights. You can do a name correction or a name change within VAX. Scheduled airfare? No, you can't. That you'll have to call into a contact center because if it's scheduled airfare and it's ticketed, there might be fees, and some of the airlines don't allow us to go into the GDS to make the corrections. So some of them will require us to send an email over. So to do that, it's as simple as going to modifications, change PAX info, and right now it's grayed out, I can't do anything. You're going to go under the traveler that you want, click on change traveler information. So let's say Christine Smith is Christine Jacobs. Alright, or you need to add a middle name. It's land only, middle names aren't required. Nor is it for scheduled airfare, but as long as the first and last name and dates of birth match up, you're not going to run into any issues. So we changed the last name. We're going to go ahead and hit change. Alright, so we haven't completed it yet, but here's our names. So I see Jacobs is on here. Enter your flight information. Anytime you make a modification, I should say, with transfers and you make a change, this will pop up. So you don't always have to add it in there. So I'm just going to click on I don't have the flight information. I am going to double check what I had on my itinerary though. Transfers, cancel for any reason. Scroll down. Got my same room category, same room, dates, everything like that. Transfers, cancel for any reason. I'm going to complete my itinerary change. All right, perfect. There we go. Change the name. Now let's say we want to go down or add. Let's go ahead and add a night. So it's land only. You can do it with the exclusive nonstop as long as those flights are available for the additional night or reduced number of nights, and as long as the hotel is available. Because what will happen is it reprices the hotel. So if it's not available, it's going to change your hotel. So you've got to be careful with that. So we're going to go to modifications, and let's go to change rest date. If they want to add a night, all right, the 20th. Great. If they want to reduce, you can reduce it. Let's hit search. All right, so let's wait for that availability to pull up. All right, so it's at now Onyx Punta Cana. It's showing the Junior Suite Garden View 2 double beds. What did we have originally? We added the king bed. All right. So let's see if that king bed's available for that additional night. All right, it is not. So just keep that in mind, being like, hey, to your customers, we can't add the additional night, but they don't have the king room available. Are you okay with a different room category? This is a good opportunity to upsell. Well, we can't add an additional night. We just got to upgrade you maybe to a junior suite swim up or whatever it may be. All right, so the cancel for any reason is still on there. Transfers are still on there. From here, you just go to checkout. I'm going to click I don't have the flights. Collect any payment if need be. You'll be able to see that here. And change my itinerary. So I added a night. Pretty simple. Let's wait for that to change, and I'll show you one other one that you can do. All right, so now we're 2 months later. Now let's say Christine can't travel anymore. They have the cancel for any reason, so there's not any penalty. They just lose that CFAR. So as long as the hotel is available or the exclusive nonstop vacation flights is available, you go to modifications, drop packs. So this is age change as well. So keep in mind, if you're changing the age, it will reprice everything as well, especially going from an adult or a child to an adult. So I am removing Christine. Go click remove, it changed. You know, it's thinking about it. I clicked it. Just give it a few seconds. There it goes. All right, so you see we only have one adult here now. I don't have the flight information. I'm going to click on that. So check your room category, make sure your features are on there. So it's transfers and travel protection, right? Transfers and travel protection. So the reason why you're going to be able to do this with the travel protection is once it falls off, it'll automatically populate back as a sales adjustment showing its use. All right, and so from here, complete the itinerary change. So the last two are some modifications that not many people know that they can do in backs. Again, it's all based making sure that those components are available. So if they're not available, change your hotel or change your room category. So you really got to double check that. Scheduled airfare, you're not going to be able to do anything. So one common question is adding a person to a reservation. Okay, we can do it. The easiest way to do it is, especially with land only or with the exclusive non-stops, if the components are available, make a new reservation, give us a call, we'll move the funds. If it's not available, you'll have to give us a call. If you need to add or remove a passenger with scheduled airfare, you'll have to give us a call. So there are ways to limit the talk time with adding or removing depending on the type of package you have, but it's up to you if you want to create the reservation. So those are some of the basic modifications that you can do in VAX. So let's go ahead and take some time for some questions. I do see a question in here about what can we do if one person is on the reservation needs a different flight date. So that would be something that you would have to call in the contact center for. So to get things started, you can make an air and hotel reservation. And then when you call us, tell us who needs to have a different flight. And then we can go in and modify. So passenger B, we would go in and if that's a person that needs a different flight, depending on the type of flight it is, whether it's the exclusive nonstop or scheduled airfare, we can divide them off that initial PNR. If it's scheduled airfare, it would be put in tabs. So person A who's not changing goes onto a new tab, book another tab for airfare for the passenger B who needs a different flight. And then if we're adjusting the hotels as well, then you would have additional tabs too, because you can't change occupancies within just one tab. All right, so let's go ahead and get those questions coming. All right, I don't see any other questions, so I will just kind of stay in here real quick and kind of show you our education page, our award-winning education page. So you have a couple ways that you can get there, but from this screen, you're going to go to Suppliers, Vacation Packages. You can actually hit search and put in library or whatever it may be and find it too. Go to Apple Leisure Group, Education. So here's a calendar of our live learning events. So kind of like this one today would be on here, and you'll be able to go back and view it. It'll just probably take an hour or two. It will be up probably no later than tomorrow mid-morning on the calendar, where you can always go back and view it again. But here's all of a list of our live events that you can register for and listen into on a webinar. The one I want to focus on is the self-help library. All right, so this is basically everything that you can do within a reservation, making a reservation, modifying a reservation, etc. So let's say you forget how to book an infant. Well, you can go right here where it says booking infants. And it looks like we have a document, step-by-step instructions. All right, so how about adding an agency fee? All right, so that's going to be under set your own commission. All right, so in this case, we got a short video, it's like 1 minute long, or a document. So you can find things in here that you would need if you forget how to do something. Or if you forget how to do the pre and post cruise, you can click right here. It'll give you instructions, small video, and step-by-step document. So make sure you use this if you have any questions, because it's for your disposal. It's a great resource for you guys to use. So keep that in mind. All right. I do have a couple questions here. How about a reservation where one person is from a different airport? So a multi-origin reservation. So currently, you cannot do that in VAX. You'd have to call in for that. By the end of the year, we're hoping to have that available for you guys to do in VAX. But currently, you would have to call in for that. Okay. How far in advance do you have to create a group? Or can you create a group? As long as the inventory is out there, so it all depends. Are you looking at a flex group or a contracted group? So if it's a contracted group, more than likely you're going to be able to do a year out, no matter what. Just because most hotels have availability longer than a year out. Flexible group, same thing. As long as the availability is in VAX, you'll be able to do the flexible group. Most hotels are typically, I see 2021 early. I've seen it in VAX just recently. So they're far enough out. Okay. Alright, so no other questions currently. Let's see if any more come in. Alright, so it doesn't look like any other questions are coming in. So from here, what I'll do is I will go ahead and stop the webinar. I will download this video onto our calendar. So let's go back to our calendar of learning events. So let's view the calendar. So this is the one we have here. So getting ready for 2020 right here. You will see it multicolored. So you will see it kind of maroon and blue. And that means it's on demand, which means there's a link associated with it. So the video will be there. So it looks like we have one for next week as well. So just feel free, register for it if it's something that you want to join in on. And otherwise, I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy days to join me. We appreciate all your support here at Travel Impressions. And thank you so much for everything. We appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your afternoon and take care. Thank you.